Compared to the account entity in SIPI SoftSwitch, the customer entity offers greater flexibility for organizing and managing multiple clients in a hierarchical structure. This allows for the creation of virtually any combination of client groups. For each group of clients under a parent customer entity, it is possible to assign unique routing groups, tariffs, balances, and parameters, which can be applied to individual accounts and additional levels of sub-customers. The SoftSwitch already provides a built-in customer hierarchy out of the box. When you log into the web interface as an administrator, you will function as the root customer. For training purposes, we will create a sub-customer structure consisting of 2 sub-customers under the root customer, assumed to be at level 0, and 2 additional sub-customers under a level 1 sub-customer of the root customer, as depicted in the chart. Since creating each subsequent level of sub-customers requires creating tariffs with rates, we have already added 1 sub-customer to the root customer with necessary presets to save time. You may refer to the tariffs configuration video tutorial or the SIPI documentation to refresh your understanding of how to create tariffs. To configure first-level sub-customers of the root customer, select My Customers from the main menu and click Customers. As mentioned, the first sub-customer of the root customer has already been created. Let's create the second sub-customer under the root customer. Click the Add button. Set the name of the new sub-customer. The system will automatically assign web login and password credentials, granting access solely to the sub-customer's web interface. Next, assign a tariff to this sub-customer by selecting one of the tariffs created at the root customer level. This will be the default tariff used by the root customer to charge the sub-customer for the default routing group. Then, assign a default routing group, selecting one of the routing groups created at the root customer level. Unless additional tariffs and routing groups are assigned to the sub-customer, these default settings will remain the only routing and tariff options available to the sub-customer. We will demonstrate how to add more tariffs and routing groups shortly. Add a balance, representing the starting balance held by the root customer for the sub-customer. Click Save and Close to proceed. Each parent sub-customer can manage a set of permissions for the next level of sub-customers. Let's navigate to the Permissions section. As 2 customers have been created under the root customer so far, there are only 2 entries in the permissions table, each associated with one of these sub-customers and their respective permissions. Once more customers are added, entries for these additional customers will also appear. Note that the Permissions menu of the parent web interface becomes available only after at least 1 sub-customer is created under this parent customer. For more details, refer to the SIPI documentation on sub-customer permissions. Now let's go back to the Customers section and add additional routing groups and tariffs. To add additional routing groups and tariffs for the second sub-customer, open the Additional Options menu and select Extended Routing. From the Routing Group drop-down menu, choose any group created at the root customer level. Note that the default group already assigned in the main customer configuration is no longer available for selection. Next, select a tariff to charge the sub-customer for routing traffic through the selected routing group. You can add more routing groups and tariffs by clicking the green plus button. Note that already assigned groups will not appear as options in the drop-down menu. This process demonstrates how to create extended routing configurations for the sub-customer. Let's now return to the Customers page. Now that we've created 2 sub-customers of the root customer, let's review what's available at the level of the first sub-customer. Each sub-customer has its own web interface. To access the web interface of the first sub-customer of the root customer, click the door icon in the Action menu of the first sub-customer. This will open a new browser tab for the sub-customer's web interface. This sub-customer's web interface is a separate space where the sub-customer can manage their own switch parameters, create accounts, and sub-customers. In practice, this sub-customer dedicated space can be used to manage a large corporate client by providing access to selected users within your organization, or it can be dedicated to a reseller who can use your soft switch and vendors to resell traffic to their own clients. Configuring a sub-customer is similar to configuring the soft switch from scratch, with the key difference being that sub-customers cannot create their own routing groups. Instead, they can only use the routing groups made available by their parent customer, who, in turn, receives routing groups from their parent, and so on, up to the root customer, who is the sole creator of routing groups in the soft switch. Remember, to create accounts or sub-customers for a first-level sub-customer, at least one routing group, tariff, and service plan must be set up. As mentioned, we've already pre-created these. Let's review them and other parts of the sub-customer web interface for clarity. The title in the upper left corner indicates that we are on the respective sub-customer's web interface. The balance in the drop-down menu shows the balance this sub-customer has with the parent customer. Let's navigate to the tariffs. We can see that one tariff has been created for the sub-customer to be used to create a service plan for accounts and to assign it to the sub-customer's sub-customers. Let's move to the service plans. You can see that one service plan is ready to be used to charge clients via account entities created for them. Remember, in SIPI soft switch, tariffs are used to charge sub-customers, and service plans are used to charge accounts. Now let's check what's available for the accounts of this sub-customer entity. Navigate to the Accounts page. Click the Add button. Click on the drop-down list of the routing group field. You can choose from routing groups assigned by the parent customer. Remember that for each routing group, the parent will use the respective assigned tariff to charge for the traffic. Click on the Service Plan drop-down list, which contains the service plan based on the tariff created by this sub-customer to charge their clients. All other account parameters can be specified as explained in the Account Configuration video tutorial or SIPI documentation. We won't create the account now, you can practice this yourself. Please discard and close. Let's go to the customer page of this sub-customers. We've already pre-created one sub-customer. Let's add one more sub-customer to complete the sub-customer structure we aim to build for this training. Press the Add button. Specify the name of this Level 2 sub-customer. According to the naming convention for this training, the name indicates that the parent of this sub-customer is sub-customer 1 at Level 1, and this is the second sub-customer at Level 2. The process of configuring a Level 2 sub-customer is the same as configuring a Level 1 sub-customer, which we've already demonstrated. Let's leave all settings as is and return to the Customers page. Press Save and close. Now we've created the second sub-customer for the root customer's sub-customer, completing the sub-customer structure we plan to create in this training. This concludes our tutorial on the configuration and use of the SIPI soft switch customer entity.